It was a humid night in Manila, the kind that made the stars shimmer like broken glass scattered across the sky. In the narrow alleys of Tondo, one of the city's poorest districts, a young boy named Miguel Santos sat on an old wooden crate, strumming a cracked guitar missing 2 strings. He was only 14, thin as a whisper, with hair that fell across his tired eyes. His mother worked nights washing dishes at a local eatery, and his father, well, Miguel barely remembered him. All he had was this guitar, a gift from his late grandfather, and a dream that felt far too big for a place this small. Every night, after selling water bottles at traffic stops, Miguel played songs under a flickering street light. He sang softly, his voice echoing against the concrete walls, not for money this time, but for peace. The song that comforted him most was Hotel California. His grandfather used to hum it when life got tough. Miguel never understood all the lyrics, but something about it, the mystery, the loneliness, the haunting melody, felt like home. One night, a man in his 30s stopped to listen. He was wearing jeans, a camera slung over his shoulder, his eyes reflecting both fatigue and curiosity. When Miguel finished singing, the man clapped softly. "Kid, that voice, it's something special," he said. Miguel looked down, shyly brushing his fingers over the guitar. "Thank you, sir. Have you ever thought of auditioning for Philippine Star Voice?" the man asked, referring to the country's biggest talent show. Miguel laughed nervously. "Me? I can't. I don't have money for that." The man smiled. "I'll help you. My name's Rico. I'm a cameraman for the show. Come with me tomorrow. You deserve to be heard." Miguel's heart raced. That night, he told his mother, who at first refused, afraid he'd get hurt or disappointed. But when she saw the fire in his eyes, she nodded through tears. "Go, Enoch. Make your Lalo proud." The next morning, Miguel boarded a crowded bus to the audition hall, wearing a second-hand white shirt and shoes that barely fit. He carried his guitar close, like it might shatter if he let go. When he arrived, hundreds of contestants filled the venue, confident, stylish, some even with managers. Miguel stood silently in line, his stomach churning. He could feel people staring at his worn clothes. Some whispered, some laughed, but he held on to his grandfather's words. "You sing from your soul, Miguel. The world listens to truth." When it was finally his turn, the judges, 3 of the most respected musicians in the country, looked unimpressed. One of them sighed. "What will you sing, boy?" Miguel swallowed hard. "Hotel California by the Eagles." A few people in the back chuckled. But when Miguel started strumming the first chords, everything went still. His voice was pure, trembling yet powerful, the kind that carried pain, hunger, hope, and love all at once. On the dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. Each line wrapped around the room like a story told from the heart. His accent colored the words differently, but beautifully. His eyes closed, his voice cracked slightly on "You can check out anytime you like." And at that moment, one of the judges, a woman known for her cold critiques, covered her mouth. Tears streamed down her face. By the time the last chord faded, there was silence, then, an eruption of applause. The crowd stood up. Even the staff behind the cameras were clapping. Rico wiped his eyes behind the lens. The head judge leaned forward. "Miguel," he said softly, "where did you learn to sing like that?" Miguel smiled faintly. "From my grandfather, sir. He told me music is how the heart talks, when the mouth can't." Miguel advanced to the live shows, each week singing songs that touched people's souls. His voice didn't have fancy training, it had truth, and people could feel it. Clips of his performances went viral across the internet. Millions watched the poor boy from Tondo make people cry with his version of Hotel California. But fame didn't change him. He still visited his mother after every show, still played under the same streetlight when he could. Then came the final night. He stood on the grand stage, trembling under the bright lights, holding his guitar tighter than ever. The audience chanted his name, Miguel. Miguel. Before singing, he took a deep breath and said, "This song is for my mama, and for everyone who thinks they were too small to dream." He began again, on the dark desert highway, and this time, it wasn't just a performance. It was a goodbye, a thank you, a prayer. Halfway through, his mother was shown on the big screen, crying in the front row. The judges wept openly. The audience sang along. When he hit the final note, he whispered, "For you, Lalo." The crowd roared. Confetti rained down. The judges stood up, pressing the golden buzzer, sending Miguel straight to the championship. That night, the video of his performance exploded online, titled "Poor Filipino Boy Sings Hotel California, Judges in Tears." Within 24 hours, it reached tens of millions of views. People around the world wrote to him, calling him the voice of hope. Miguel didn't win first place in the finale, but he won something greater. A music producer offered him a scholarship to study voice and record his first album. He bought his mother a small house away from the slums, and one evening, He stood again under the same flickering street light, this time singing for a crowd of children, handing out food, laughing, telling them, if someone like me can sing on that stage, then you can do anything. Never stop dreaming. As the camera faded out, Miguel looked up at the sky, whispering, "Thank you for listening, Lalo." And somewhere far beyond the stars, maybe an old man smiled, humming the same tune, proud of the boy who